Hey all, my name is Kurt and I'm here with Trenton. Welcome back to SLB Basement Bourbon Bar, and I'm very unhappy tonight, Trenton.
Why?
Because I have 2 empty Glencairn glasses on the bar top with nothing in them.
Well, I have some good news for you. We're going to fill them. But what I didn't tell you is that we're also going to do something else. And this is going to be a little surprise.
It's not shocking, babe. Is it shocking at all that he didn't tell me?
We got rocks glasses here.
Oh, well, this is going to be...
So
I have no idea what you're doing.
In a video, when did we do that video? Like last week, I think, or earlier this week. We did a video on Jack and Coke.
Yes.
And in that video, I may or may not have poured Old Rip Van Winkle 10-year in with Coke. And I got a lot of comments on that.
Yeah, I haven't read it.
I got called a madman, a mad scientist, a whole bunch of stuff.
I'll get to them, but I usually don't have time until the weekends to look them over. So I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
So that got me thinking, and stumbled across something. And, we'll just put this Coke out right here. We're going to do something more. We're going to do something with this Coke. I figured that I would up the ante just a tad. And we would try Coke with this Pappy Van Winkle 15-year. And see what the flavor's like mixed with the Coke.
Babe.
I'm just kidding. We're not going to pour that. We're not going to pour that with
Well, thank God, because you told me.
That's sacrilegious.
I didn't really know you actually got one, to tell you the truth. You said you thought you had a line on one.
So I don't really like to tell anybody what I get, because when I come on the video, it's always a surprise, and you're like, whoa, I didn't see that. But Harry...
You've been very secretive since you were a child.
Yeah.
Right, babe? Yeah, that's what I'm talking.
So Harry from B Liquors, he hooked me up with the Pappy 15. Harry did, yeah.
Well, thank you.
So figured I'd do a video on it, and we have another video coming with something else he hooked me up with in the near future. He said, do both in one video, and I was like, no, we're gonna separate the two and focus on one at a time, because they're both fantastic bottles. But
this sounds like Harry, though.
This still has the seal on it. We haven't opened this, and this was secondary around $2,400.
Get out of here!
For the 15
Are you
year.
kidding? I never look at secondary for stuff.
I paid
anymore.
$159.99.
Well, good for you
for the 15-year.
Thank you, Harry.
So,
good job.
Last year I got the 10-year, and that was about $99. And it's a fantastic bottle. But this year, glad to up the ante just a little bit, add 5 years, and this is actually Pappy Van Winkle. The 10 years Old Rip Van Winkle.
Right.
So we did a video last year. I'll put it somewhere up here about the 10-year review that we did, and a lot of comments were like, "That's not actually Pappy," and I was like, "Yeah, I get it.
I do too."
So this year I'm going to put it in the title, and it's going to be true. So we're gonna.
Well, good for you.
They got this fancy little foil top, and I'm gonna I'm gonna stab my nail flesh with this.
Well, while you're opening it, remember a couple months ago,
our camera just went out. I don't know what happened, and I can't lose the magic of opening this for the first time. So we're gonna just go with it.
No, you cannot. And what I was trying to say during that time is a couple of months ago, or whatever it was, when we had our monthly live stream at Jay's house.
Yeah.
In Chicago area, he actually let us taste his Pappy 15. You remember that?
And he saved that for that occasion.
Yeah.
Like he opened that for the first time. So thank you, Jay. He had 2021.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I got to be honest. We had been drinking a lot. So I was a little bit loaded when I tried that. So I wasn't able to appreciate it.
I think I was so much in shock that we were actually going to try it that I didn't really. It was just, I remember it to a certain degree, but I don't really remember really digging into it, to be honest with you.
Well, I
was just shocked that he was sharing that with us. It was beyond me.
You're in luck. We're digging in.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. This is going to be fun because we really get to. Yeah, it's there. It's there.
That needs to be a cologne fragrance. Honestly, that kind of smells like some Old Spice or deodorant that I have.
Don't say Old Spice deodorant. Does that sound enticing, babe? Old Spice deodorant?
They just came out with this Alpine scent. That it kind of smells like this.
Wow. Okay, then. But anyway, this is going to be fun because we get to kind of actually focus on it, concentrate on it, and see what we have here. So this is fantastic. Thank you, Harry, once again.
Yeah. 15-year, 107 proof. I really don't know what else to say. It's Pappy.
And it's supposedly, again, we're not well versed with all the Pappies, that's for sure. I had a taste of the Pappy 15 a few months ago. It was the very first one, so this would be the second. But they say the sweet spot is in the 15 year. I don't know. I haven't had the others, of course.
I should have brought that 10 year to do a little side by side. We'll have to do that. At some point.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Man,
it's beautiful.
Last year when we got the 10 year, we opened it, and you said, I think you were doing this on your own at that point. Yeah. You were like, this just smells up the area that we're in.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
And it does.
And this one does, but to me, the 10 year we had was like Rick House, and a lot of this is much more refined of a nose.
That's just so sweet.
The 10 year.
There's something about it.
Super sweet. There's cherry in there. There's a really beautiful
it's like medicinal cherry a little bit.
Yeah, really, really nice cherry note in there. Wow. It's not deep and dark. There's no molasses there. It's like a beautiful brown sugar sweetness. Sugary sweetness.
It's like sweeter than brown sugar even.
Yeah. Sure. I can go for that.
If you were to bathe in sugar.
You got that right.
Wow. I gotta do it.
Yeah, go ahead. Be the first.
Oh my god. Dude.
I just keep sniffing on it because it's so good.
And I'm going to apologize because,
wow,
I think some people might look at this and be like, "Oh, it's Pappy. There's so much hype around it. That might be what you're getting on the palate, on the nose." But I got to be honest with you. This is I don't really even have words for this one.
Boy, babe, I kept that in there for a while.
Wow. Mouthwash.
I would use this as mouthwash.
I'm trying to get it over all the senses of the palate, babe. That's something else. That is something else. All right, that's just the first sip. That's the initial shock sip. Kind of what I felt at Jay's house when we had it. So I'm gonna take another sip and really kind of concentrate on it and see what we have in there.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? You had a couple sips.
The cherry note transfers nicely from the nose to the palate, and that's like the kind of the predominant flavor I'm getting. Maybe like the 10 year I got was like maybe a green apple. This is more of like a grainy. There's some kind of apple flavor in there, but it's not similar to the 10 year. It's a little bit more of a less sour, like a green apple. It's more of like a red. Or some kind of red something. And I think it's an apple. I'm not getting like a berry note from this. I'm not getting...
no.
But it's so sweet, but it's not like a caramel.
No. It is a wheated bourbon. So it's soft. It's not super viscous, but it's got some nice weight to it. It's got a nice body to it.
Yeah.
I'd call it like a medium viscosity. So the mouthfeel is good. It's got a tremendous balance of flavors.
Yeah.
Amazing balance of flavors. It's more of a toasted sugar, sweetness to it, light brown sugar.
And I will say it's a 15 year, so you get really nice oak there at the end. But it's not in your face oak. It's just like a subtle hint of oak that really blends nicely with the flavors at the beginning of the palate.
It's a beautiful oak.
Yeah.
And it's not heavy, like you said.
No, yeah.
Definitely, it's not a heavy presence in the sip. It's really not. It's very complimentary.
Yeah.
Is what you were saying there, too. Exactly right.
And I'm going to... Go ahead.
No, I'm just... I'm still trying to get it all in here.
Well,
go ahead.
I'm going to bug Jay to see if we can try this year's and last year's and see if there is a difference, because I'd be interested to see how those compare.
Sure. I'm really trying to find, because the sweetness to me is not like an Elijah Craig barrel proof. Certain ones that have that deep brown sugar, deep molasses, that rich oak type stuff. This is much more refined and an astute type of bourbon. It is a wheater, so it's a fabulous. It drinks less than the proof, for sure. So the sweetness to me is still a little bit like even not a vanilla type, but like a creme brulee type of a toasted sugar there, even a very light brown sugar.
All right, hear me out. like those, what are those, the honey-made graham crackers? Like the honey ones. It's
Great.
Because it's like a subtleness to it.
Absolutely.
But it's also very nicely balanced.
I'm with you on that. Honey is, with the graham cracker even, honey is a fabulous note for this too as well. But I'm getting through those light, rich, sweet notes to talk about. I think the predominant note for this bottle for me is that fruit note you're speaking of.
It's amazing.
It's out there right front and center.
And
it really, really is really good.
And I really do. I want the thing I was most excited about this bottle, not only that I got it, but I wanted to see if, like, of course there's hype around any Pappy product, but is the 15 hyped up all that it is to be?
Sure.
I gotta say that it is, man. And I'd be honest with you folks, if this was something that I was like, you know, that's not really worth all the hype, it's not worth the MSRP, it's not, to me, this isn't worth the secondary price. I'd never pay secondary price for this. But it's so good.
Yeah, and on the last sip, I got a real nice toffee note too. That's kind of what I'm looking at too. So not a deep, dark, rich, sweet note, but more of a toffee note too. But that apple note, or whatever you're referring to, is front and center.
Yeah,
it's really, really good.
Red Delicious.
And then it follows suit on the back end with that balance of the oak note.
Yeah,
as well. Really, really nice. Now, like as Trenton was speaking of, is any bottle of whiskey worth $2,400? Now, you're the consumer. That's your choice. For me, no. For me, no. I mean, back in the day, 4 or 5 years ago, I've made some pretty silly purchases. However, I had a guy text me, or actually instant message me today on Facebook to say, hey, I'm working over in LaPorte today, and I saw a E.H. Taylor barrel proof for $600. That's above my price range, but if it's up yours, then if that's what you want to pay, I remember on the video you said you couldn't find the barrel proofs.
Yeah, well, that was nice of him.
Yeah, it was nice of him to look out for us. Yeah. But I messaged him back and said I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's.
I had the opportunity in Arizona, if you remember, to buy the barrel proof for $300. I passed on that.
I'd have done that.
Nah. To me anymore, it's patience is the key. You can't have them all every year.
That's
you just cannot. And sometimes patience is the best part of looking forward to a purchase.
Yeah,
is getting it at a decent price. Getting this at $159 is an excellent price for this bottle.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Now, would I pay $200-300? Probably, because you don't see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, when you get up to 5, 6, 7, 800, 9,000, 2,400, no, I just wait.
I'd say my max on this would be 500-600. Because I mean,
I get that.
I've been hunting for 3-4 years now. I haven't even gotten a glimpse of one.
Sure.
Until this year.
Sure.
So I mean, maybe now that I have one, and I like when other people can get this kind of stuff too. So if I got the chance next year, I wouldn't hoard these. And if I did, we'd probably do a giveaway. With one.
Would, yeah,
but
probably would.
It's fantastic. Max for me, $500-600. To me, I think this does live up to the hype, not the secondary price point that comes with it. It is a fantastic bourbon.
It's different one than I expected to be because it's different than the 10-year.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The 10-year has little darker flavors, and that Rick House, it's a little bit more rougher around the edges.
Yeah. But
in a nice way.
And I would have expected
for being really refined,
for being nice. 5 years older, you would have gotten a lot more of that oak. But you don't.
Think. No,
and it's just so good. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're not mixing this with Coke. I can't do it. I can't do it. Maybe next year if I get a 20 or a 23, we'll pour the 15 in some Coke. Why not?
No, we will not.
We'll see.
We won't do that.
We'll see.
That's silly. Well, Trenton, thanks for, you always come down here with something special. That's for sure.
Thanks again to Harry for hooking me up with this. It was it's just incredible.
It was a privilege for me to even sip on this with you.
Yeah.
So I thank you for that. I thought it was great. I really did. Again, you're the consumer. It's your decisions. People message me all the time, how much would you pay?
Yeah.
But I'm not in your shoes.
Yeah.
And you're going to get no judgment from me.
Yeah.
My thought process is I'm going to be patient.
Yeah.
I'm going to be patient.
Yeah.
It took me, 3 years to get a Joseph Magnus cigar blend?
Yep.
And I finally got one this year.
Yep. Patience.
Yeah. Patience.
And this is coming out, tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, this is coming out Friday, which is today. Stay tuned for next Friday. We have another banger of a bottle to...
We do?
To share with you guys. So
hey, I don't never know what the kid's up to. And sometimes that's a good thing.
That's the point.
Probably is. All right. We sure hope you appreciated it. We had a good time. Thank you for sharing this with me. Thank you for joining us in this special time. It was really, really a neat occasion that I'm going to remember for a long time. So, as always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. You're very important to us, so please drink responsibly. And we'll see you next time with whatever the kid got up his sleeve in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.